You feel free to weigh in now, Shaq. You've heard from Shams. You saw the FBI director speaking about this. What do you think?
I know everybody that's at play, and I don't like to sit up here and be hypocritical about certain things. I homeboy gamble, Ernie. Bet it. We've been on teams. We played cards. We played spades. We played tonk. But with that being said, every year they would give us forums on what and what not to do.
Right.
One of those things where if somebody asks you if a certain player is playing, you say no. So all these guys knew what was at stake, and I'm just ashamed that they put themselves and put their family and put the NBA in this position. We all know the rules. We all know the letter of the law, and it's just unfortunate. Innocent to proven guilty. But usually, when the FBI has something, they have you. FBI.
Yep.
I know a lot of people from the FBI, and I've been in many of those investigations. They'll wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but when they come back
Facts.
on your door, they have something. And we all know the letter of the law when it comes to gambling and sports gambling. And I don't want to sit up here like I'm some perfect guy. Like every now and then when I go to Vegas, I'll play some craps and I'll play some roulette, but never gambled at anybody's house. Don't know anything about poker, so I don't know what they're talking about when it comes to the Chauncey thing. But I know Chauncey. I know Damon very well. Played with Damon, so I don't want to sit up here. But I'm ashamed that those guys will put their families and their careers in jeopardy.
Facts.
There's an old saying in the hood: all money ain't good money. So if you're making $9 million and you're dealing in certain things, like how much more do you need? Especially if you know you get caught, you can do jail time, lose your career. Put a bad image on yourself or your family or on the NBA. I agree with you, Chuck. They dropped the ball.
100%.
They
I want to stop it right there, and we might get to the rest of it. Yeah, this is a terrible look. This is worse than the who was that guy? Donahue? I forget his first name. I think this is a worse
Tim.
look. Tim, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a worse look, way worse look than what Tim did. And Tim, I mean, he screwed the Kings or the Blazers out of a
It was the
championship.
2002 Western Conference Finals, the Lakers versus the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings. Yeah, the Kings got screwed over. But yeah, Adam Silver. I don't know where you put the blame at. Like, obviously, the players got to be blamed. Is this a fireable thing for Adam Silver? Like, should he keep his job? Like, let's start there.
If he's making money for the league, he's going to keep his job because that's all the owners care about. And last time I checked, the NBA is as profitable as it's ever been. So,
Sure.
and their international fame is increasing too. So he's
Yeah.
safe in that regard. But there's going to have to be.
As long as he's making enough money, or he's not costing them money.
I don't know how he can cost them money because as of right now, it's all allegations. But
Yeah.
Shaq did say one thing. So I work in financial crimes, right? And the when you're dealing with the feds, they're going to let you get away with it for a very long time to build up their case. They'll contact people like me and say, hey, we know this is happening. Let them do it. Don't restrict their money. We'll catch them. And we got to get out of the way and let them cook. And that's exactly what happened here. But Tim Donahue, I'm glad you mentioned him because he called this out years ago, TR. And this is Tim Donahue, so don't come for me, NBA. He said that the referees were throwing games because Sacramento was beating the Lakers and everybody wanted to see the Lakers in the finals as opposed to the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
But anybody who's a fan of basketball know that there was some fishy things going on in that game 6. Like, if you go back and watch some of the officiating, and I officiate high school basketball on the side, TR, and some of my mentors are college and former NBA officials. And one thing that they would always tell me is they didn't like officiating in the NBA because even though they get paid really good money for seasonal work, they would always make the comment, it's too political. But when you ask them what that means, I never got a straight answer. So that's telling me that
Basically LeBron.
there's basically going to be some players who get calls and some who don't. The game isn't officiated the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a bad look because the NBA is trying to, you're trying to have a successful season, and you got the BS going on with the WNBA. They might lock out, or the players might lock out, or whatever. Um, you don't need any more distractions. You don't need any more like um Adam Silver. Like, what are you doing? Like, why is this happening under your watch? We have a coach that got caught up in this. Now, it's understandable with players, but when you get a coach caught up into it, then that requires you're going to have to come up to the Capitol Hill and explain yourselves like they did with baseball. Like, that's going to be the next, that's going to probably be the next stop. And I don't know if you
Dude,
saw.
Pete Rose is still not in the Hall of Fame because of this. And he's one of the greatest baseball players to ever play.
Well, he might get in the Hall of Fame on the next one if he's eligible.
I don't know. We'll see. It seems to me like they seem to be stuck on that. But here's my. I don't know if you were landing, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you land first.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, they're trying to get a Vegas team. You can't get a Vegas team with this going on. And this has been going on for years. So for the idiots thinking that Trump is coming after you, this was under the Biden regime. Biden's DOJ went after, was already looking into this. Why they never did anything with it? Hey, your guess is good as my guess. Maybe they needed more evidence or something. But, being linked to the Italian mob, and then, just having players and, former players and people that, you can't even trust people to be in the locker room now. Like, because I think with Rozier, was it Rozier? Rozier was active. It was the other guy. But you had a guy that wasn't even playing, and he's in there like, hey, I still want to work out. Now you just messed up for everybody else, because now everybody's going to be super mums on it. People are going to be like, they can't tell anything because someone got connected. LeBron got dragged into this, and it appears he had nothing to do with it. But at this point, I don't know what's real now. Not that LeBron has something to do, but what about the people around him? Because not only does that make him a target, though, it's liability as well too, because you not want your name dragged into this.
Yeah, and you were right. It was Terry Rozier who's still active with the Miami Heat. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I read some of the documents. As far as I know, and there's more to come. I believe LeBron's only involvement was the teammate was putting out information about his injury report that wasn't supposed to be shared publicly. Because they'll say he's doubtful or probable, but he was allegedly giving very specific information. I think there's too much of a focus here on these players and former players, and not enough on the mafia, though. Remember, and a lot of people may not know this, especially our younger listeners, the RICO Act was created in 1970. It was specifically created to take down the mafia. They had their hand in every aspect of sports and legitimate businesses. They were a part of the Teamsters Union for a long time, TR. So the RICO Act was specifically created to take them down, and it looks like they were never taken down. They just slid to the shadows in business as usual.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this much: the RICO Act has not been used to take down any organized crime or monsters, because we saw the RICO Act being used against teachers in Fulton. Shout out to Fannie Willis. Being used against rappers. Again, shout out to Fannie Willis. Being used against P. Diddy. Shout out to fucking New York. And then being used against, I forgot the fourth one. Somebody else just got hit with the RICO Act. Fuck it. Anyways, the point is, the RICO Act is being abused on just not regular citizens. Well, the teachers, they got screwed. Those teachers in Fulton, they fucked up. They were convicted of helping their kids cheat the testing standards. Yeah, they messed up. Big deal. I mean, they definitely need to be held accountable. As far as saying RICO, some of those teachers did hard time. But again, the RICO Act is not being used to go after organized crime anymore. And again, like I said, why Biden never went after them if he had the same amount of evidence, your guess is good as mine.
There were a Young Thug and R. Kelly were hit with RICO charges.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I just looked it up on NPR. They were both hit with RICO charges.
I didn't realize R. Kelly got hit with a RICO, but Young Thug, yes, you're right. YSL, that whole criminal thing.
And apparently Big U, and if you don't know who Big U is, the LA hip hop / culture of LA, he's very active in that side of things. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So It'll be interesting to see what comes of it comes out of it because this is just not a good look for the NBA, and we're gonna find out like how much everyone knew, and then also we're gonna find out how far does it go up the tree though, because it's not just if they got the Chauncey, I mean they could have got to a GM too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then people wonder, like, well, why would he get involved with it? It's because they're over leveraged. I heard this thing from the lead attorney. He said 3 things take down men and all start with an L: liquor, ladies, and leverage. Those are the 3 things that take down any man, depending on I mean, liquor can be switched with drugs or whatever. But the point is, those are the things that take down most men. So it's not about how much money they made in NBA. They were leveraged. That's all it is.
Leverage is why we'll probably never see the Epstein client list.
This guy.
I ain't letting that go, man, because I've been on that. I've been on that. I've been wearing that tinfoil hat for a long time. I ain't letting it go.
We're just having a good old conversation. I might have to delete that shit. All right, we're just gonna
It's a client list. I didn't take it any further than that. You ain't got to delete that.
Oh man. Anyways, all right, next topic.